Hello everyone, welcome to Malim Chess Kids. Today I'll show you the game played by Juan Cruz and Soltan. And this game is using the Trompowsky Attack. And here we have a very beautiful attack in the middle of the game. So the game starts with the pawn to d4, knight f6, bishop to g5, and now attacking the knight. Then the knight to e4 and bishop to h4, and the black play d5. Then f3 was played, and now the knight to d6 and knight c3, and this is the first 5 move after the black play c6. And here you can see that the position is equal for both sides. Then the white continue to play e4, trying to control the center, and bishop to and the queen to b6, attacking the pawn, and also attacking the pawn at b2. Then the rook to b1 to protect the pawn, and now the d takes e4, capture the pawn, and the pawn f capture back. Then g6 was played and prepared for bishop to g7 and attack the center pawn at d4. After this, the knight to f3 and bishop to g7 was played. Then bishop to e2 and bishop to e6. So this is the first 10 move, and you can see that the situation is white is better with the double pawn in the center of the square. We have many attack ideas. You can push down, and also the next move the white can go for castling, and the pieces for the white is quite good and able to highly active in the center of the square. So after this, the white go for castling, short castling, then the knight to d7, and now the black can go for long castling or the short castling. After this, the white move king to h7 to avoid the push the pawn, and also the queen can pinning the king. After this, f6 was played, and the white push e5, attacking the knight. So after this, g5 was played in the actual game, and after this move, this is one of the tactical blunder, and after e5 was played, the black play knight f5, and here the knight is attacking the bishop. If you move g5, this will be a blunder because the bishop can go to f2, and now if the knight move away, example move to f7, then you can just push a pawn to d5, attack the bishop, then the bishop is attack the queen, and you have a double attack, and one of these will be down. Therefore g5 will be a blunder. So in the actual game, after e5, the black move knight f5 and attack the bishop, and also attack the pawn at d4. After this, bishop to f2, and with the idea of push the pawn and attack the bishop, and win the queen. So queen go to d8, and after this position the white push d5 attacking the bishop, and now pawn takes d5, and at this point the white play g4 attacking the knight. Then knight to h6, and then the knight goes to d4 attacking the bishop, and also attack the bishop at g7. So after this position, the black try to play a knight to c5 and protect the bishop, and which this is a bad move because it's one of the tactical blunder. And after this, the white can just play a b4 and attack the knight, and if the knight go away, they just capture the bishop. So for example, after b4, then the knight need to move away, and if the knight capture the pawn, then you just can capture the knight for free, and then the knight can capture the bishop, then we'll be winning. So in the actual game, after knight g5, the white play a g5 to attack the knight, and this is also less strong, but it's still the white is winning the game. And after this, the knight play a knight f5, and now the knight can capture the knight, or you can use a pawn takes f6. So in the actual game, the pawn takes f6, and this is a strong move. After this move, the pawn takes f6 again, then bishop to b5 and check the king, and now king to f7, and if you block with the bishop, for example bishop d7, then you can just capture the knight and attacking the bishop. So if you capture the knight, and if you capture the bishop back, then the knight you just capture and check, and if the king move nearer to the king to attack, then the knight will just capture the bishop, and if the king capture the knight, then the pawn will capture and check the king. And after this, if your king capture again, then you will have you can play the open check, or you just use the queen to f3 and check, and will be winning for the black. So black will have many activity to win after block with the bishop. So in the actual game, the black choose rather to move away the king to king f7, and after this the knight capture the knight, and now bishop capture, and here after this the bishop capture the knight again, and now this double bishop is very strong, and you control the diagonal of this square. And now after this, the black play bishop takes g5, and after this another brilliant idea of sacrifice, that is using a rook to capture the bishop and check the king, and after check you allow the queen to go to h5 and check the king. So you have a many idea of diagonal attack. So after this, the rook capture, and now the pawn capture back. Then the queen goes to h5 and check the king, and now you can see that here you have a triple diagonal attack the king, and now the king only have a 3 moves to move. So after this you still cannot use any piece to block the diagonal attack. So after this the king only have these 3 square, and in the actual game the black move to king e6 and the white able to checkmate the king. So after white play king to e6, and here you have a checkmate in 11 move, and the game continue with a rook to e1 and continue to check the king, and again you can see that the diagonal attack, and almost the king control all the square, the white control all the square for the black king to move. And if you block with the bishop, then you can just play queen to h6 and continue to check. And now if the king to h7, then the rook just capture the bishop and we'll be winning. So in the actual game, after rook to e1 check, then the king move to f6, and here is another mistake that the white play. And at this position, the only move that you can play and checkmate is to play a bishop to d4 and checkmate the king. So this will be the checkmate, and you control all the square that the king can move. But in the actual game, the white play a bishop to e7 and check the king from the back. And after this, the black final move is to capture the bishop, and the only way to play is the queen takes the bishop at e7. And after this, here you have a very interesting checkmate, is to checkmate with the knight. The knight takes e5 and check the king, and the king cannot be moved as all the square is being attacked by the white. And with this, thank you.